Hi, I had a request that someone wanted me to find the currents in the loops in this circuit. So we have a circuit with five resistor in it in this shape, and we also have a supply in current. And this is not my expertise, but this is a simple circuit. So let's see how we can get the I2. You know, the summation of the voltages on each loop, must be equal to 0. Here, if we just, by looking at this circuit on the loop 1, we can see that the current I1 will actually be our supplying current, the current within the circuit. So on loop 1, will give us that our I1 is in fact our current in. Now, if we look at the second loop right here, the voltage that goes across this resistor can be written as R2, I2, and the voltage across this resistor by I2 will be plus R4, I2, and the voltage across this resistor by I2 can be written as plus R1, I2. Then we are going to have a voltage by I3 on R4. So we are going to have, and it is in the same direction, so will be positive R4, I3. And last, we are going to have I1, R1, but in a different direction, so minus R1, I1 equal to 0. Now, for this loop, loop 3, we are going to have R5, I3, R5, I3 plus R4, I3 plus R3, I3 and also plus I2, R4 and the reaction of I1 on R3 also will be in positive direction plus R3 I1 is equal to 0. Now let's go ahead and simplify this first equation. Let's simplify that as R1 plus R2 plus R4 I2 plus R4 I3 is equal to R1 I1 we say is our current in. And let's also rewrite this equation as R4 I2 plus R3 plus R4 plus R5 I3 is equal to minus R3 I in. Now we have two equations that, in fact, in these two equations, we have everything. We definitely have our supply current, and this, and we have the values of the resistance in a real life. So we have R1, R2, R4, and we have I in. So the only thing that we need to solve in these two equations is for the value for I2 and I3. So let's go ahead and write these two equations in a matrix form. So we can write these two equations as R1 plus R2 plus R4 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 R3 plus R4 plus R5, and we have I2 and I3 equal to R1 I in minus R3 I in. So we can write these two equations in a matrix form like that. Now in here, using the matrix calculus, we can define, we can name this as delta, and delta will be equal to R1 plus R2 plus R4 multiplied by R3 plus R4 plus R5 minus this multiply that minus this multiplied by that minus R4 square. So this is the value for our delta. So now we can solve for I2. I2 will be equal to 1 over delta 1 over delta. So this is the value for delta. So I2 will be equal to 1 over delta multiplied by R1 I in minus R3 I in, and R4 R3 plus R4 plus R5. So this is the value for I2, which all we need to do is just having the values for our supply current and resistor and plug it in that formula and solve it for I2, and I3 will be and R. We don't need this anymore. And our I3 will be 1 over delta R1 plus R2 plus R4 R1 I in and R4 minus R3 I in. And this is the value for our I3. So now we can just plug the values that we have for the resistors and for the supply current and solve for I2 and I3. I hope you liked it.